My beloved, stop for a second. Just 1 second. Because heaven has been trying to reach you for hours. And now it's not just a gentle whisper, it's a divine cry. Archangel Michael is standing before the throne, his tears falling like sacred rain. And those tears? They are for you. Yes, you. Because this is your final chance, your final warning, your last divine opportunity before a door closes that will never open again. Something powerful is shifting in the unseen realm, and if you don't open your heart to this message now, you might miss the moment that was always meant to change your life forever. You felt it today, haven't you? That tug in your spirit, that unease, like something is trying to talk to you and you can't quite explain why you keep looking over your shoulder or checking your phone for a sign. That's not coincidence, that's heaven. That's the divine realm screaming gently into your soul, saying, open this now. But so many times you've said, later. So many times you've ignored what seemed small, yet was drenched in miracle. But now, my child, Michael isn't whispering. He's weeping. And when an archangel weeps, you better believe the entire universe bends in holy silence. Before I go further, stop everything and pay attention to this divine moment. You've come this far for a reason. If your heart feels something right now, don't silence it. Because the most important part of your entire journey may be buried in the next few lines. You can walk away and pretend this is just another message. Or you can pause, surrender, and open your heart. Archangel Michael says you must choose now. The next move is sacred. The next breath is heavy with destiny. You were meant to read this. And no force in hell or earth can stop what happens next, if you stay. My beloved soul, Archangel Michael was shown something in heaven's scrolls. Something written about you. And it was terrifying. Not because you've done something wrong, but because if you don't act now, someone else's hidden move is going to impact your divine timeline. There's a spiritual trap being prepared. A deception, cloaked in innocence. A message you were never meant to miss, and yet, you've been distracted. Michael has stood watch over your house tonight. He's been whispering in dreams. But you're so overwhelmed, you've forgotten to listen. God says it's not too late, but the window is tight. And it won't be open long. They've been watching you. Not just people, spiritual forces. Some praying for your rise. Some desperate for your fall. The enemy tried to copy your light, tried to steal your image in spiritual realms, tried to create confusion around your name. Archangel Michael saw it. He stepped in. But now he's exhausted. Because the only one who can seal the protection around your calling, is you. You have to choose obedience over delay. You have to choose trust over logic. Because what's happening in the next 24 hours is going to determine whether your name is honored, or forgotten. And heaven refuses to let you fall. This is the moment you've been prepared for. All your pain wasn't random. All your delays weren't punishment. They were preparation. God saw how they tried to silence you. Heaven recorded how they laughed at you when you weren't looking. But guess what? The joke is over. Because God is getting ready to turn the page. But listen, turning the page isn't automatic. It takes obedience. It takes you saying, yes, when everything in your mind screams, wait. It takes opening this sacred scroll from heaven and saying, I'm ready now. Are you ready? Because Michael is holding the scroll in his hands, trembling. Before we go on, pause here. If this divine word is tugging at your spirit and you don't want to miss the rest, follow now and become part of the chosen few receiving these holy messages straight from heaven. This is not ordinary. Your soul knows it. Tap and subscribe, because someone in the spiritual realm is interceding for you. You don't want to miss what they're about to reveal. My child, do you know what Michael saw last night? He saw the trap being set with your name on it. A financial confusion. A relational misunderstanding. A document sent with twisted truth. But just as the darkness was about to move, God shouted, "Stop!" And the angel of war, Michael, intercepted it. But that protection expires soon unless you step into alignment. This message isn't fear, it's mercy. God doesn't warn to scare. He warns to save. And Michael's tears are not of defeat. They are holy fire. And that fire is coming to purge everything that tried to bury your light. There is a name being whispered in spiritual realms connected to yours. A person with the power to shift everything for you. But they're hesitating. Not because they don't feel something for you, but because something is blocking them. A spiritual veil. Archangel Michael is being sent to tear it down, but only if you say yes to this divine warning. Your obedience now will release clarity to the one who's meant to stand beside you. You're not crazy for feeling their presence. They've been feeling yours too. But until you unlock this divine moment, the silence between you will continue. God has been patient. So patient. Watching as you tried to be strong, tried to fight alone. But this isn't your battle anymore. This is spiritual. You can't fix what's coming. You can only follow heaven's voice. Archangel Michael is stationed outside your house right now, not in body, but in spiritual stance. His sword is drawn. His armor is shining. But he needs your agreement. He needs your "Yes, I accept the warning. Yes, I'll listen. Yes, I'll stop delaying." Because child, if you ignore this, you will grieve later. Not because God failed, but because you silenced the very warning that was sent to rescue you. Someone you trusted deeply is about to reveal something shocking. Not because they want to, but because the pressure on them is too heavy. What they've hidden is about to burst into the open. And if you're not spiritually prepared, it could devastate you. But God is sending this message to soften the blow. Archangel Michael says, "Brace yourself, but do not fear. What looks like betrayal will lead to blessing. What feels like breaking will lead to birthing. But you must trust. The tears in heaven are not because you're weak, they're because you've carried so much alone for far too long." God saw what happened. The lies. The manipulation. The fake smiles. And yet, you kept showing up. You kept hoping. But now, heaven is no longer waiting. Archangel Michael says a spiritual courtroom has been opened. The gavel is about to fall. And your name is on the scroll. This is your moment of divine judgment, not to punish you, but to finally vindicate you. Your name is being cleared in realms you cannot see. But if you don't open your heart to this warning, the victory will be delayed. You've cried long enough. Heaven is ready to answer. But you must stay aligned. Someone you trusted deeply is about to reveal something shocking. Not because they want to, but because the pressure on them is too heavy. What they've hidden is about to burst into the open. And if you're not spiritually prepared, it could devastate you. But God is sending this message to soften the blow. Archangel Michael says, brace yourself, but do not fear. What looks like betrayal will lead to blessing. What feels like breaking will lead to birthing. But you must trust. The tears in heaven are not because you're weak, they're because you've carried so much alone for far too long. God saw what happened. The lies. The manipulation. The fake smiles. And yet, you kept showing up. You kept hoping. But now, heaven is no longer waiting. Archangel Michael says a spiritual courtroom has been opened. The gavel is about to fall. And your name is on the scroll. This is your moment of divine judgment, not to punish you, but to finally vindicate you. Your name is being cleared in realms you cannot see. But if you don't open your heart to this warning, the victory will be delayed. You've cried long enough. Heaven is ready to answer. But you must stay aligned. There's a shift happening in your house. You've felt it. Things moving, people acting strange, sudden arguments, dreams you can't shake. Those aren't random. Those are signs. Archangel Michael says this is a spiritual clash. Light versus darkness. Truth versus illusion. But here's what's important, you're the deciding factor. God gave you the authority. Your reaction will shape the outcome. If you surrender, angels will take over. If you ignore it, chaos will enter. The battle is already at your door. But victory is already written, if you respond now. Don't underestimate this. Michael has been battling all night for this moment to reach you. There's someone pretending to care about you, watching your every move. But not with love, with envy. Heaven has marked this person, and Michael is watching them closely. But they're about to do something impulsive. Something that will try to shake your foundation. God says, don't panic. They will expose themselves. The truth will come without you lifting a finger. But again, the warning is your lifeline. You can't confront this in your own strength. Let Michael handle it. Let heaven vindicate you. Your job is to stay spiritually awake. Ignore the drama. Focus on the divine. Because you're being moved to a new level of protection. Someone from your past is circling back, not to reconnect, but to test your discernment. They've been spiritually activated to disrupt your peace. Don't fall for it. Don't engage. This is not a test of love, it's a test of growth. Archangel Michael says, if you entertain this distraction, you'll delay the breakthrough that's already on its way. You've come too far to let a counterfeit trick you out of a divine promise. God isn't just protecting your heart, He's preserving your timeline. Say no in peace. Walk away in silence. Because the next 7 days are sacred, and any wrong move could alter your path. Someone powerful is thinking about you. They saw something, your work, your name, your energy. And now they can't stop wondering who you are. But here's what heaven wants you to know, their interest is divine, but your next step will determine how far it goes. Archangel Michael says, don't chase, don't force, just position. Be found in the right posture. Be found in alignment. Because God is about to connect you to someone whose influence will launch you into purpose. But pride can delay it. Fear can distort it. Listen closely, beloved, the right connection will recognize your light. You won't have to beg for it. Heaven is moving silently in your favor, but hell is trying loudly to distract you. That sudden temptation, that unexpected confusion, that emotional outburst, those are not accidents. Those are spiritual diversions. You're on the brink of something unimaginable, and Archangel Michael says the enemy is panicking. That's why the warfare is increasing. That's why you're suddenly tired, doubting, second-guessing. But hear this, those symptoms are confirmation, not condemnation. You are closer now than ever. Don't stop praying. Don't stop trusting. Don't skip this moment. Heaven has released angels on assignment, but your agreement is the final key. Say yes out loud. Right now. They thought you were weak. They thought you'd break. But you were never alone. Archangel Michael says the reason you're still standing is because heaven has been fighting when you couldn't. And now? The table is turning. Your name is being mentioned in places you never imagined. Behind closed doors. In secret prayers. In conversations that will shift your future. But God says, stay humble. Stay hidden a little longer. Because what's coming next isn't small. It's kingdom-level favor. But favor without maturity leads to downfall. So don't rush. Let God finish preparing the room before you walk in. Because this time, it's permanent. Your heart has been aching for answers. For signs. For something that finally feels clear. And today, this is your sign. This is your answer. The tears of Archangel Michael are the validation of how seriously heaven takes your journey. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. But you are being stretched. Stretched to listen. Stretched to trust. Stretched to move when it doesn't make sense. And if you move now, if you act on this message, something ancient, something sacred, something promised long ago will begin to unfold. You'll feel it in your dreams. You'll sense it in your spirit. The veil is thinning. They left you thinking they got away. But God has been silent, not absent. The pain you carried from what they did has reached heaven's courtroom. And now, vengeance belongs to the Lord. Archangel Michael says, the time of silence is over. But you won't have to lift a hand. You won't have to fight this time. The exposure is coming from God Himself. All you have to do is stay in divine posture. Because when the truth surfaces, many will come running back. But God says, don't let your emotions decide, let your spirit lead. Because not everyone returning deserves access again. Your breakthrough is pacing outside your door like a roaring lion of light, so close, yet waiting on one thing, your agreement. Not your perfection. Not your resume. Just your yes. Archangel Michael says you've delayed your destiny long enough by doubting if you're ready. But ready has nothing to do with the outward. It's your spirit that's prepared. Your tears were training. Your silence was shaping. And your heartbreak? Heaven was using it to build discernment. You've cried at night wondering, when is it my time? This is it. Not a future version of you. Not a fixed version. The now you. Because God moves in now. They left you thinking they got away. But God has been silent, not absent. The pain you carried from what they did has reached heaven's courtroom. And now, vengeance belongs to the Lord. Archangel Michael says, the time of silence is over. But you won't have to lift a hand. You won't have to fight this time. The exposure is coming from God Himself. All you have to do is stay in divine posture. Because when the truth surfaces, many will come running back. But God says, don't let your emotions decide, let your spirit lead. Because not everyone returning deserves access again. Your breakthrough is pacing outside your door like a roaring lion of light, so close, yet waiting on one thing, your agreement. Not your perfection. Not your resume. Just your yes. Archangel Michael says you've delayed your destiny long enough by doubting if you're ready. But ready has nothing to do with the outward. It's your spirit that's prepared. Your tears were training. Your silence was shaping. And your heartbreak? Heaven was using it to build discernment. You've cried at night wondering, when is it my time? This is it. Not a future version of you. Not a fixed version. The now you. Because God moves in now. You keep seeing signs. Repeated numbers. Familiar names. Sudden memories. Songs that seem to speak directly to you. That's not your imagination. That's the divine realm breaking through the noise. Archangel Michael says those are divine nudges, proof that you're being pulled toward something sacred. But signs mean nothing without action. God isn't just trying to comfort you. He's calling you to respond, to shift, to surrender. The longer you wait, the louder the distractions become. But the moment you say, I receive, the spiritual fog will lift. And what once felt confusing will suddenly become clear. Crystal clear. Like heaven parted the clouds just for you. There is a divine transfer happening, and your name is on the list. Someone else fumbled what was meant for you, and now God is relocating the blessing. But heaven won't release it until your hands are ready. Archangel Michael says, open your hands. Open your expectations. Let go of the timeline you made in your mind. Because what's coming isn't going to look like what you lost. It'll be better. But if you keep trying to fit new favor into old frameworks, you'll miss it. Be willing to start fresh. Be willing to be surprised. Because God is not recycling your past, He's rewriting your future. The enemy doesn't attack what isn't valuable. That's why you've been hit harder, doubted deeper, and tested longer than most. Archangel Michael wants you to hear this: you are marked. Heaven marked you long before the pain ever found you. And the tears you've cried in secret have been collected in divine jars. None of it was wasted. Not a single heartbreak. Not a single delay. All of it was allowed, because the anointing you carry requires purification. You've been walking through holy fire, and now you're coming out refined. Stronger. Wiser. With authority that hell cannot replicate. You are walking into your own prophecy. Someone in your family is hiding something. A truth you sensed but couldn't prove. But soon, it's coming to light. Not to break you, but to free you. Archangel Michael says, this truth will be like thunder in your household. But don't fear it. Receive it. Because everything false must fall before the real can rise. You're stepping into a season of divine clarity. No more illusions. No more pretending. The masks are coming off. And you, beloved, will no longer be the one bending to keep the peace. You are stepping into boldness. Into voice. Into truth. And heaven is backing you. You keep asking, what if I fail again? But God is asking, what if you don't? Archangel Michael says, you've been rehearsing disaster in your mind, thinking it's protection. But all it's doing is delaying your leap. You were not made for safety. You were made for the supernatural. And faith doesn't mean you'll never fear. It means you'll move even when the fear is still screaming. Because miracles don't show up where logic is leading. They arrive where surrender lives. This next move you're contemplating? If it's led by Spirit, it's already blessed. Trust that. And leap. Because there's something waiting on the other side that will shock you. You've been holding back your voice. Not because you're weak, but because you've been protecting your peace. But God says, the time for silence is over. Archangel Michael is placing fire in your throat. You are not here to blend in, you're here to shift atmospheres. There's a truth you've been sitting on. A word you've been avoiding. And heaven says, speak it. Don't fear their reaction. Don't soften it for comfort. Because what you release now will break chains. Not just in your life, but in the lives of those connected to your obedience. One act of boldness will start a ripple effect. This is your divine cue. The angels are aligning things behind your back. There's a door you never knocked on that's about to swing open. Not because you earned it, but because you endured. Archangel Michael says, this blessing is different. You didn't chase it. You didn't manipulate it. You simply trusted. And heaven took note. Now the reward is being released. It may not make sense. People may question it. But don't you dare apologize for it. You've wept for this in silence. Let yourself rejoice in public. Because this time, the blessing won't come with baggage. It won't come with confusion. It'll come wrapped in peace. Pure peace. There's someone on the other side of the world right now being instructed by God to bless you. They've never met you, but they've been dreaming of you. Feeling led to reach out. To give. To help. To invest. Archangel Michael says, prepare for divine assistance. It will not look familiar. It will come from unexpected hands. But that's the glory of it. Because no one will be able to say you did this on your own. This next breakthrough will have God's fingerprints all over it. The kind of testimony that silences doubt. And when it happens, remember this moment, this was the warning before the wonder. There is something ancient inside you waking up. A calling that was whispered over your soul before you were ever born. Archangel Michael says, this isn't just about protection anymore, it's about activation. You are being activated into a deeper purpose. The shaking you feel? That's not anxiety. That's divine stirring. Your spirit knows something your mind can't yet explain. You were not born to just survive, you were born to ignite. To carry a message that no one else can. And now, the time has come. Heaven is calling. The trumpet is sounding. This is your moment to say, "Use me, Lord. I'm ready." There's someone on the other side of the world right now being instructed by God to bless you. They've never met you, but they've been dreaming of you. Feeling led to reach out. To give. To help. To invest. Archangel Michael says, prepare for divine assistance. It will not look familiar. It will come from unexpected hands. But that's the glory of it. Because no one will be able to say you did this on your own. This next breakthrough will have God's fingerprints all over it. The kind of testimony that silences doubt. And when it happens, remember this moment. This was the warning before the wonder. There is something ancient inside you waking up. A calling that was whispered over your soul before you were ever born. Archangel Michael says, this isn't just about protection anymore, it's about activation. You are being activated into a deeper purpose. The shaking you feel? That's not anxiety. That's divine stirring. Your spirit knows something your mind can't yet explain. You were not born to just survive, you were born to ignite. To carry a message that no one else can. And now, the time has come. Heaven is calling. The trumpet is sounding. This is your moment to say, use me, Lord. I'm ready. There is a curse in your family line that ends with you. Archangel Michael saw it, a pattern of poverty, heartbreak, betrayal. A generational spirit that kept cycling through bloodlines unchecked. But God chose you to break it. That's why it's been so hard. That's why you've been attacked more than the rest. Because you are the interrupter. The cycle ends with your yes. Heaven isn't just protecting you, it's depending on you. When you stand, generations rise. When you say, no more, the heavens thunder in agreement. You are the one your ancestors prayed for. And the next 7 days will confirm it. You think it's too late. That you missed your moment. But the truth is, your moment was waiting on you to become who you are right now. Archangel Michael says, nothing is wasted. Every delay had divine fingerprints. Every detour was a setup. God isn't disappointed in you. He's been preparing you. What looked like punishment was actually protection. If you would have received what you prayed for too early, it would have crushed you. But now? You're stronger. Clearer. Calmer. You're no longer begging, you're becoming. And that's what unlocks the blessing. It's not about force. It's about flow. And now, child, your flow has begun. There's a conversation happening in secret with your name in it. Someone is speaking on your behalf. Defending you. Remembering you. Archangel Michael says, don't be surprised when a call comes out of nowhere. When an opportunity arrives you didn't apply for. That's heaven's algorithm. Favor doesn't need formality. What is yours will find you. But you must stay aligned. Stay humble. Keep your spirit clean. Because when it happens, it'll feel too easy, and that's the miracle. You won't have to strive. You won't have to perform. You'll just walk into it. Gracefully. Quietly. Powerfully. And no one will be able to explain it but God. Someone is jealous of your peace. You may not even know it, but they've been watching, comparing, measuring. And now they're planning to shift blame toward you. Don't panic. Archangel Michael says this move will backfire. What they meant for harm will become your elevation. The trap they set will reveal their own heart. God says, stay silent. Don't defend. Don't retaliate. The throne room is already handling it. And when the exposure comes, it will bring healing, not revenge. Because you're not who they say you are. You are who I say you are. Chosen. Covered. Crowned. And nothing can snatch that away. You've been feeling pressure because you're pregnant with purpose. The contractions are spiritual. The discomfort you feel? That's divine expansion. You are being stretched because what's coming through you is greater than what's around you. Archangel Michael says, do not abort the mission. You're closer than you think. This isn't punishment, it's preparation for push. And when you push, you'll birth something that will bless not just you, but entire nations. Don't minimize your pain. Honor it. Let it teach you. Let it build you. Because what's on the other side of this pressure is power. Raw. Unshakable. Heaven-born power. There's money that was supposed to come to you but got blocked. A divine flow was intercepted. Archangel Michael saw it, a delay caused by someone's disobedience. But here's the miracle, God is rerouting it. Expect a sudden release. A financial surprise. Something unexpected. Don't question it, just receive it. But be wise. This money isn't for comfort. It's for calling. It's to position you. To free you from fear. Because God is removing your dependency on systems that failed you. And placing you under heaven's economy. Trust this transition. It may not come the way you expected, but it's coming. In full. And it's going to restore what you lost. You've been apologizing for your light. Shrinking in rooms to make others comfortable. But no more. Archangel Michael says, the season of playing small is over. You were not created to blend in, you were created to stand out. To reflect the radiance of your Creator. And that reflection? It's about to shine brighter. You will be seen. You will be celebrated. But you must own it. Stop dismissing your gifts. Stop disqualifying yourself. God qualifies who He calls. And heaven has already placed the crown. All you have to do is wear it. Not with arrogance, but with holy confidence. You are royalty. Walk like it. Someone who hurt you is about to apologize. Not because they suddenly became kind, but because heaven is convicting them. Archangel Michael says, receive the apology, but don't reopen the door. This is closure, not a contract. God is bringing finality. Not to break you, but to bless you. You don't need that person to complete you. You never did. They were a chapter, not your whole story. And now? It's time to turn the page. A new storyline is being written. And this time, you're not the one being broken. You're the one being built. Stronger. Softer. Smarter. Watch how peace floods your soul once you finally release what was never yours to carry. You're being watched from heaven, closely. Your name is being whispered by angels, and Archangel Michael has not left your side, not for a single moment. You thought you were alone, but you weren't. You were surrounded. While you wept on your pillow, heaven was speaking your name with love. While you walked into rooms and felt unseen, Michael was covering you from arrows you didn't even know were aimed at you. But now, you are not just protected, you're being promoted. And promotion begins with a shift. Not just in circumstance, but in mindset. You must believe you are ready, even when fear tries to lie to you. Someone who hurt you is about to apologize. Not because they suddenly became kind, but because heaven is convicting them. Archangel Michael says, receive the apology, but don't reopen the door. This is closure, not a contract. God is bringing finality. Not to break you, but to bless you. You don't need that person to complete you. You never did. They were a chapter, not your whole story. And now? It's time to turn the page. A new storyline is being written. And this time, you're not the one being broken. You're the one being built. Stronger. Softer. Smarter. Watch how peace floods your soul once you finally release what was never yours to carry. You're being watched from heaven, closely. Your name is being whispered by angels, and Archangel Michael has not left your side, not for a single moment. You thought you were alone, but you weren't. You were surrounded. While you wept on your pillow, heaven was speaking your name with love. While you walked into rooms and felt unseen, Michael was covering you from arrows you didn't even know were aimed at you. But now, you are not just protected, you're being promoted. And promotion begins with a shift. Not just in circumstance, but in mindset. You must believe you are ready, even when fear tries to lie to you. You've been prepared in pain so you could walk in power. The nights you thought would break you were actually birthing your spiritual muscle. That sickness? It shaped your empathy. That heartbreak? It sharpened your discernment. That betrayal? It built your spiritual backbone. Archangel Michael says you are not fragile. You are forged. And now you're stepping into a moment where heaven is saying, no more delay. No more waiting on others to believe in you. God believes in you. The kingdom has been waiting on your voice, your light, your obedience. Say yes now. Not tomorrow. Now. The earth needs what's inside you. A divine meeting is being scheduled on your behalf. A person who holds access to your next level is being nudged by angels to reach for you. Archangel Michael says this is the moment everything starts to align. This person won't know why they feel drawn to you, but they'll be unable to resist. They'll want to partner, to bless, to connect. Do not doubt it. When the call comes, answer with boldness. Do not shrink. God is putting your name in the mouths of kings and queens. This is the favor you prayed for. It's arriving through alignment. Stay focused. Stay ready. You're about to be summoned. You were always different. You tried to fit in, but heaven never let you. That was protection. Your rejection was direction. God never wanted you bound to a circle that couldn't carry your calling. Archangel Michael says, that no you received was actually a loud yes in heaven. A detour that kept your destiny on course. Stop mourning who walked away. Stop questioning why it didn't work. You were called apart for something they couldn't handle. What you carry would have crushed them. Now, the real tribe is coming. People who see your spirit. Who honor your light. Who walk in the same fire. God is restoring your circle. Someone tried to curse you, but God reversed it. What they meant as sabotage has now turned into a setup for your testimony. Archangel Michael stood guard as the enemy spoke lies in dark places. But instead of letting it touch you, God allowed it to promote you. And now you're going to rise publicly in the same place they tried to destroy you privately. Don't clap back. Don't retaliate. Walk forward. Your elevation will speak louder than any rumor ever could. And the very ones who spoke against you, they will witness your glow. They will know your name was spoken by God first. A window is opening over you, but it won't stay open forever. Heaven has a timing system. And right now, the window is aligned perfectly. But hesitation is the enemy of elevation. Archangel Michael says, take the leap. Make the call. Start the project. Trust the idea. Don't talk yourself out of it this time. You asked for confirmation, this is it. The peace you feel reading this isn't just comfort, it's divine instruction. God is saying, go. Not later. Not when it's perfect. Now. Because if you move in obedience, you will walk into something that accelerates what would have taken years. And you will know it was me. Your dreams lately, they've been vivid for a reason. Heaven is speaking. Your spirit is awakening. You've seen flashes of things that haven't happened yet. And they aren't random. Archangel Michael is whispering to your spirit in your sleep because your mind is finally quiet enough to receive. Take note. Write them down. Don't dismiss what you saw. God is revealing strategy through symbols. Through names. Through faces. These are blueprints for your next chapter. What looks like imagination is often revelation in disguise. You're more prophetic than you realize. And the more you trust it, the more it will increase. You're about to walk into a room that changes your life forever. A physical space. A conversation. A moment that will confirm everything you've been sensing. But listen, how you carry yourself in that room matters. Walk in as if you were sent. Because you were. Heaven is sending you on assignment. Not to impress. Not to prove. Just to be. You don't need to push your way in. The door will open itself. Archangel Michael says, the people you'll meet are already being softened by heaven to receive you. Just show up. Your presence will do the rest. Because favor speaks without words. This is your final warning, not from fear, but from love. Archangel Michael has done all he can. The angels have been dispatched. The scroll has been opened. But now the final step is yours. Will you open your heart? Will you take this seriously? Will you finally stop skipping divine instructions because you feel unworthy? You are worthy. You are loved. And you are needed right now. The war you've been feeling in your spirit isn't chaos, it's the sound of chains breaking. You're stepping into something irreversible. Something heaven wrote in fire. But you must respond. God won't force you. He's inviting you. And finally, child of heaven, the tears that Archangel Michael cried were never weakness. They were fire. Fire that ignites the warnings of heaven into transformation. This wasn't just a message. It was a mirror. A mirror to show you who you really are beneath the fear. Beneath the delay. Beneath the pain. You are chosen. And this moment is holy. So close your eyes. Whisper, I receive it. And know this. God isn't done with you. He's just getting started.